The Gnosis. Current location unknown. From Arlecchino's attempt to murder Furina, we know that the Gnosis is not in the possession of the Hydro Archon, Fossilors. Neither is it in the possession of the Hydro Dragon, Neuvillette. So where could the Gnosis be, you might ask? Some believe that the Gnosis is inside the Oratrix's core. But what if I told you that the Gnosis is actually inside Childe's Veil?
Hey guys, it's Bane here. Welcome back to another video. Don't forget to watch till the end because I'm pretty sure this one's gonna blow your mind. To start off the video, let's talk about
the Constellations.
Every character in Genshin Impact has their own unique ambition, unique destiny, and unique constellation. Each character's fate in Teyvat is guided by the stars. But what exactly is a constellation? According to Greek mythology, constellations are essentially God-favored humans or beasts whose deeds earn themselves a place among the heavens. But could this be the case in Genshin Impact? The answer to this question is the Archons. I'm pretty sure that you must have all noticed that the Archons, unlike other characters, have themselves as their constellations. And now who exactly are the Archons? The Archons are the 7 winners of the Archon War who were awarded the Gnosis and labeled the new rulers of Teyvat by the heavens. Which essentially means that the Archons are God-favored entities who earn their rightful place in the heavens for their deeds. So now you may be wondering, Neuvillette's constellation, that is the Leviathan Judicator, is essentially Neuvillette's true or actual dragon sovereign form. So just like the Archons, Neuvillette's constellation is Neuvillette himself. But Neuvillette isn't exactly a god-favored entity, now is he, because the gods killed him. Also in the case of Wanderer, if you have noticed, Wanderer also has himself as his constellation. So does this mean that the Wanderer is also a god-favored entity? I mean, he did receive his vision, but none of the other vision bearers have themselves as their constellation except for the Archons and Neuvillette. Maybe the explanation for this could be that the Wanderer is essentially a part of the Electro Archons, so that's why he got the constellation as himself. But that doesn't seem like a solid explanation. So this led me to think, what do all these characters have in common? That is, what do all 4 Archons, Neuvillette, and the Wanderer have in common?
The Gnosis.
All the 4 Archons, including Wanderer and Neuvillette, were actually possessors of the Gnosis at one point in their life. Venti, Raiden Shogun, Zhongli, and Nahida were the holders of their respective Gnosis, and Wanderer was actually the holder of the Electro Gnosis for quite some time and even used his power to become a god himself. And as for Neuvillette, well, the Gnosis practically belongs to him. Also, if you check out Yamiko's constellation is her true form, and Yamiko was the holder of the Electro Gnosis for quite some time also. So by this point, I think we can confirm that there is an undeniably strange pattern over here which connects the constellations and the Gnosis possessors or the Gnosis holders. Now that brings us to Childe's constellation,
the Moneros K.
The Moneros K is the image of a narwhal, which is a one-toothed whale or a one-horned whale. And now after playing the 4.1 Archon quest, we have seen Childe's whale, and it too is a narwhal, a one-toothed whale or a one-horned whale. So I think we can confirm that the whale that we see in the Primordial Sea is in fact the constellation, the Moneros K itself. So just like how the Archons, Neuvillette and Wanderer are embodiments of their own constellations, the Moneros K, or the whale that we see in the Primordial Sea, is the embodiment of Childe's constellation. So just like that, Childe's whale, the Moneros K, could be another god-favored entity from the heavens. To back this claim, let's just take a look at the meaning of the word Moneros K. Now Moneros means narwhale and K means from the heavens. So Moneros K means narwhale from the heavens. So now earlier we had seen this strange pattern which connects the Gnosis holders and the embodiments of the constellations. So if we apply that particular pattern here, could it mean that the Moneros K, which is the embodiment of Childe's constellation, is also a Gnosis holder, particularly the holder of the Hydro Gnosis? Wait, what? How does that even make sense? How could it be possible that a random whale we encountered in the primordial sea holds the Gnosis? It makes no sense, right? But let me explain. If you have reached reputation level 10 in Fontaine and you have got your hands on the Fontaine glider, you must have noticed that the Fontaine glider drops a massive lore bomb on us. Now, according to the Fontaine glider, the primordial sea's contents were akin to blood and it also had a heart. And each time this heart beats, new life would be created. It also states that this particular heart was the first Hydro dragon. So now we know why Newlet was able to control the primordial sea so easily. He was literally the heart of the primordial sea. Now, after the battle between the primordial one and the 7 dragon sovereigns, the dragon of water perished and there was no heart left for the primordial sea anymore. So an envoy of Celestia who was tasked with the creation of life came down to the primordial sea and created another heart. This particular envoy of Celestia was one of the 4 shades of the primordial one, the shade of life, and the heart that it created was Egeria, the former Hydro Archon. It is also stated that the second heart received a shard of the first one, which allowed it to gain the Archon's right and the divine duty. So another question we have to ask ourselves is, what is this whale from Celestia doing in the primordial sea? There could only be one absolute explanation for this. The first heart that controlled the primordial sea was the first Hydro dragon sovereign, and the second heart which controlled the primordial sea was Egeria, the former Hydro Archon. But now the second heart of the primordial sea has perished and it needs a third one. And this third heart could be a whale created by Celestia, the Moneros K. That could explain why there is a sudden surge of primordial seawater under Fontaine, because the whale is coming to Fontaine and it is also bringing the entire primordial sea along with it. And what exactly did the first and the second heart of the primordial sea use to control it? The powers of the Gnosis. So if we connect the strange pattern that we saw between the embodiments of the constellations and the Gnosis holders, along with this particular theory of Childe's whale being the third heart of the primordial sea, I think we can come to the conclusion that the Gnosis is indeed within Childe's whale, the Moneros K. This would also help us explain why the Oratress deemed Childe guilty. It is possible that the Oratress saw traces of the primordial sea on Childe and decided to use Childe as bait to lure the whale to Fontaine so that we can finally get our hands on the Gnosis. This would also explain why the primordial seawater broke the seals of the sluice gate exactly after Childe went missing within the fortress of Meropide. This means that the Oratress's plan has worked and Childe has successfully lured in the third heart of the primordial sea, the current holder of the Gnosis, Childe's whale, the Moneros K, into Fontaine. So guys, that's it. I hope you liked my theory and also enjoyed watching my video. I would like to know your thoughts in the comments down below and hope you don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.